Hello. I wanted to talk today about purging. I really want to go in depth about purging because in my time over the years in different groups and forums, there's three different camps. There's the minimalist camp, there's the normal people who can rationalize and manage a normal sized stash, inventory, whatever you want to call it. Then there are those who are the collectors. They want to keep. And in each group, there's a spectrum of where you fall in that group, within that group. But there's those three broad categories. And when the topic of purging comes up, it raises a lot of emotions for a lot of us. And I know I have experienced emotions about, for example, no spending. When I would hear people go on a spending freeze for an extended period of time, my gut reaction is just, ugh, how can you do that? How is that even possible? So we're just going to talk about a perspective that I've experienced. Now, I am not a normal person. I completely embrace that. I have no problems embracing the fact that I do not have a normal inventory. I don't have a normal thought process, but I am trying to compensate, maybe, and navigate around the glitches, for a better word, in my perception that prevents me from being more mainstream and balanced. So, what if you're a low-key closet hoarder and you don't really want to get rid of anything ever? You can't ask yourself the question, does this give me joy? Because it all gives me joy. I like it. I bought it because I like it. It made me happy when I bought it. So that question is a little irrelevant to me. And the list of excuses why I hoard, it's long. It's because I have emotional attachment to some things. Sometimes I consider the amount of money that I've spent on a product. Sometimes it's because it's still useful. And sometimes it's because I find it beautiful and I want to keep it. Sometimes because I start thinking, that might come back in style. It might be trendy again, so I need to keep it. There's really no end to the excuses that we tell ourselves, that I tell myself. If you're like me and you don't actually want to get rid of anything, then it takes more than just running out of space to prompt a change in habits. It took more than that for me. I had to understand why I kept collecting. I discovered a couple of things. I used shopping and thinking about crafting as a way to cope with stress. And collecting and fear of using beautiful products was linked to a poverty mentality for me, and because I have experienced lack. In one aspect, I'm daydreaming about using popular, beautiful product to reduce stress. Then once it's in my possession, I would experience a kind of anxiety at the prospect of creating with it, because I wouldn't have it anymore. I wouldn't have this beautiful product, and I would be depriving myself of having it. And that is what's linked to the poverty and the experiencing lack. I would feel something similar to loss just at the thought of using my stash. And to keep that feeling under control, I compensated for years. I've compensated by buying multiples. I understand it defies logic. The cycle defies logic. So, how have I combated such skewed perception that's entangled in real emotions? For me, a stronger emotion was experienced. I experienced overwhelm. Number two, I began rationalizing with self-talk. So it's a little bit like emulation. When I would read comments of people who make sense, and I would think to myself, oh, they're in the normal group. I want to emulate that. So I would start, when I would feel my compulsions and my thoughts coming in, I would trade it for a normal person's thought process. And that helps some. By watching some organizers, professional organizers, and listening to how they manage stuff, overabundance, and the emotions, the practicalities, I started truly understanding that having stuff is not just a space issue. It also requires you to spend emotional and mental energy to manage it. So every time I think to myself, now, I just recently redid two seasons. The emotional energy that I spent worrying about that process, delaying it because I thought it was going to take forever to go through. That's emotional energy, and I dreaded it. That's an emotional response. So once I got through it and did it, and I felt so relieved, I was so happy. It just really makes that truth come home to me because I experienced it myself. I experienced the fact that having the stuff didn't just take up space in my room, it took up mental space. I've also surrounded I've surrounded myself with people who understand, who experience similar struggle, and maybe not in the same way that I do. So we're able to support one another and kind of bounce ideas off of each other to work through our particular struggles. I have to ask myself questions that help me separate emotional attachment to practicality. I can't ask myself, we've already talked about this, I can't ask myself the KonMari method. Do I love this? Does this bring me joy? Well, yeah. All of this brings me joy. Going through paper is the cheapest thrill that I can experience because I'm not committed, like just going through it and looking at it and enjoying the beauty of it, the design, the texture, whatever it is. Or having a collection and getting to look at it and how it works together, and daydreaming about how to use it and what projects to use it on. That's a cheap thrill because I'm not committed to actually using it and doing anything with it. I just get to enjoy all of the beauty of it. So I have to ask myself different kinds of questions. Do I like it? can I see myself using it? So there are certain patterns or let's take, for example, polka dots. I love Swiss dots. I like even a little bigger than that. But when the dots get really big, when the polka dots are big, that's too much for me. That's my personal style, my personal aesthetic. Gingham is another. Gingham and buffalo check are very close in style. They're just different sizes. And I love a small gingham. I love it. It makes me so happy when I see a sweet gingham, especially in really lovely, not pastel, but shades just above pastel. We're not getting into the brights yet, and we're not getting into the jewel tones. It's just a little deeper pastel. Oh my stars. Love it. I think it's just so pretty. And you pair that up with a petite floral. Oh, beauty. Just pure beauty. Makes me so joyful and happy. Give me a buffalo check, and I'm leaning toward being, no. You give me a giant check, and that is a definite no. So that's what I'm talking about. Can I see myself using it? And another question I ask myself is, if I found this in my inventory 10 years from now, would I still be happy to have it? And I'm going to show you an example. So these are in alphabetical order now. And there it is. I have a Christmas collection from Daisy D. Now, those of you who have scrapped for a very, very long time know that Daisy D's is very, very old. And I'm going to see if I can find a date on this. I am not seeing a date, and it may not be because it's not on here. It may be because I can't see. Let's see. No, I am not seeing a date, but I know this is very old. I know that this is over 10 years old. Do you see this? Not only is it a Daisy D's Christmas collection, but they're die cut. Isn't it awesome? Look at it. Look at these patterns. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I like all of it. Look at this. Okay. So I have almost, I've used some of it. I have almost the entire pad. I thought maybe there was something on the back, and there's not. So I'm so happy to still have this. I won't get rid of it. I will not purge this. So that's an example of having something that's old and I'm still very happy with it. That's why I can ask myself that question. Another question I have to ask myself, do I like the style, pattern, and texture? And if I'm going through it and it's not hitting those marks, I'm able to purge it. Another item that helps me is the cost. Like paper pads. Paper pads, I'm trying to think. I don't want to say a definitive. I don't think I've ever paid full price for a paper pad. I don't think I ever have. I'm not going to say definitively because there is a possibility I may have years ago. But I don't think I've ever paid full price. So in saying that, I've already gotten it at a sale, at a discount. And there's multiples. So when I'm going through a paper pad, I then start a different series of questions. Do I like this? If it's yes, do I like it so much I want multiples of it? Am I okay to share 1 or 2 papers with someone else of that design? Do I like it so much that I want to keep all copies of it in the paper pad? If I don't like it, out it goes. Sometimes I look at a design and I think, oh, that's okay. I could use that. But I don't see myself using it over and over again. That's when I get rid of the multiples. So that's how I'm able to purge. Now, the second part of this video is going to be me going through the process of purging some product. And as I go through it and show you what I'm working with, then I will ask myself these questions and we're going to talk through it. This is new for me. It's a new process. I've not done this before. So I don't know how it's going to go. Stick with me and we'll find out. Be back soon. And we're back. We're going to start with, I've cleaned out one entire cubby. And we're going to start with the collections that I had in that cubby purging. And I'll take you along with me. In that cubby, there's actually 3 down there. They're full of collections that I purchased on clearance or from Tuesday morning. And I need to go through them to scale back what I don't like. Why would I continue giving space to something that I'm not ever going to use? Because where I am right now, space is at a premium. So I don't need to continue committing that area to something that I won't use now or in the future. So this particular bag that I just emptied, I have My Mind's Eye On Trend, the original brand, original line, and On Trend 2. And as you can see, I got this one on clearance, and it was a Tuesday morning. This was a Tuesday morning pad. This I got on clearance from Hobby Lobby, and I got these from Tuesday morning. So we're going to put these aside, and we're going to go through the pads, and I'll talk about how I kind of question myself when I'm going through. I don't tear down pads that I really, really enjoy working from, or I enjoy what's all inside of it. The only time I tear down a pad is if I'm seeing designs that I know I won't use. Then I'll start tearing those out. If a majority of the pad is gone, then I'll go finish tearing it out and keep the front so that I know what it is, what I'm working with. Now, I have a thing about My Mind's Eye because it was one of the brands that I loved so much when it first came out. I loved the style, the designs, I loved everything about it. But back then, I wasn't able to really indulge in buying so much of it. I could just get, a paper here or there, and I kept them. I hoarded. Plain and simple, I hoarded. And I feel like my camera is doing, it's definitely listing to one side. Let me see if I can fix that. Just need to balance that a little bit. Sorry about that. So that has been part of the emotional attachment for me for My Mind's Eye product. And when Tuesday morning had, a truckloads of it come in, I just went bananas. And I bought it because it was My Mind's Eye, not so much because I just loved it. So this first paper, can I use it? Yeah, I'm okay with that one. I like a broad stripe. I'm okay with that. This is getting to the point that I don't know that I would keep using it. I would probably use it as fussy cutting. I could use, you know, certain flowers in here. I wouldn't mind fussy cutting those out. This is verging on a no. So I might keep this one, but the next one, no, I won't keep it. This is a no flat out. I will not use that. And it's a couple of reasons. I'm very selective about what I use that has foil on it. And I'm not real big on the plus signs. I know some people are sick and tired of cut aparts. I stinking love them. They're so versatile. You can do so many things with them. So I keep mine. Basic design. I'm keeping it. Now, here's... This makes no sense, and it's not going to make sense to you when I try to explain it. But this color of green, I can do. This color of pink is a no for me. And it's foil. So that's just like double no. Love, love, love this. The flowers are, the pattern is a smaller scale. It looks more manageable to me. I love it, and I'm keeping it. I'll keep this. It's a good background. This erratic kind of random polka dot, I'm not fond of that. And I will keep this design. I have a thing about triangles, and I know I will not use 2 pieces of it, even if I decide to keep one. So I'm just going to go ahead and tear it out and get rid of it, because that's not me. And there's more triangles. More erratic dots. The gems are no. Text all day long. I love it. Stripes I'm good with. I like this tone on tone. Now, this pink on pink, this tone on tone dot, I'm good with. I'm okay. We've been through this once. I think I can use one. I know I won't use 2. I'm keeping. Once again, I'll use 1, but I won't use 2. And I won't use 2 of that one. Didn't like it the first time. I don't like it the second time. I'll keep. I'll keep. I'll keep. It's got to go. I'll keep. I'll keep. That's a keeper. That's a noper. And we're going to keep that one. I'm going to keep 1. I like that. This is still a no for me. This one is still a no for me. This is still a no for me. Yes, 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 and yes. And it's that quick. See how much thinner? Now this is the one that's still full. Just comparing widths. See how much thinner? I've alleviated some of my space problem. So this is what I'm going to keep. We're going to go through the second one. And it's going to be probably just as quick. I like this floral. I like this stripe. I like the cut aparts. The polka dot, yes. This on the gray background is a yes. Yes. This, I would only keep 1. This, I do not like this pattern. I have this from the previous one. I'm not going to keep multiples of that. I like this. I don't like the fact that this is triangles and it's also got foil. I don't like this. I just don't. This is an erratic foil dot, and I am just not into that. I'll use that. I will use this. I like this flower. I do not like flamingos. These small triangles, I think, are small enough that I could use them. This is a no. I love this stripe. Pineapples are a no. This is a no. I don't like these great big flowers. I like that. I like that. That. I think I kept the first one of this one. Let me flip back through and see. Yes, I did. So there it is. One is what is all I'll use. This is just a basic design. It can eventually go in my color category. I'm out on this. I'm out on this. And oh, I got two of those in a row. They're both leaving me. Keeping that. That. This is a no. I think I will only use one of those. No. Yes. No. And here's the fun thing. When I'm watching others purge, I'm screaming in the background, oh my God, don't get rid of that. I love it. So I'm certain that I'm going to have viewers who will feel the same way about what I'm getting rid of. And once again, we're finished. So to even conserve more space, something that I can do is get rid of this back and just keep the front. Just kind of separate that a little bit. And I'll cut those down with my... So that's how quickly I'm able to go through it. I've gone through 2 paper pads. I'm going to keep the die cuts. I probably will keep all of my 6x6, and here's the reason why. It's a smaller scale, and it seems more doable. Plus, they're double-sided, and if I don't like that side, I can use that side. I don't like that, I can use that. And that's like the, I have the pineapples in here. You know what? I don't like either one of those. I'm getting rid of those. I thought I was going to keep the whole thing, but no, I don't like either side. Yeah, that I can do. Yes, 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 yes. I'm getting rid of those too. No, I kind of like that. I'm keeping those. It makes no sense. There's no rhyme or reason. If y'all thought this was going to make sense and you were going to be able to get on board with the Priscilla brain, I'm sorry. I've disappointed you. But that's how fast I'm able to go through paper pads. It's more difficult when I go through collections. Paper pads, easy breezy. I'm able to make decisions very quickly. So that is, by request, how I purge. I will stop here. I've got a video posted that's coming up talking about my goals. And then, sweet friends, we are in 2022. So I hope you have the best holiday season. Enjoy your family. If you're able to be with them, hug them tight. We have no idea what's coming next year. So let's just bundle up and hang on for the ride. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.